Men today are prioritizing themselves, their peace, their happiness, their freedom over trying to save women. And unfortunately, a lot of you females will be by yourselves.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a trending discussion making waves online, one that looks at a growing pattern. More men appear to be stepping away from dating altogether in favor of personal peace. This isn't just one clip going viral, it reflects a wider cultural shift that's been building for years. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get right into the breakdown.
Single by choice, but you're not single by choice. You can't get a man to commit to you in marriage. If you're out here sleeping with every basketball player, every football player, every rapper, every CEO, you will not be a wife. And so those oftentimes are the women that say, I'm single by choice. But you're not single by choice. You can't get a man to commit to you. He might be the person that you can call to have a good time with. He might be the person that you can sleep with. He might be the person that you get to bring to events. But if he's not committing to you, there's a reason why. I think that there are too many women that are saying, I'm choosing myself. The truth is they've made so many bad decisions in their past that now they don't qualify for the man they want. And so now they're like, I'm single by choice. But are you single by choice, or has rejection?
The commentary draws a clear line that many men have been pointing out for a while now. Being kept around in someone's life is simply not the same thing as being truly chosen. You can label it a choice all you want, but that label doesn't fill the gap where real commitment is supposed to be. At the end of the day, actions define a relationship far more than the words used to describe it, and people are starting to notice that difference more openly than before.
Who protects his peace is often misunderstood. People think he became distant, but really he became careful. He used to give everyone access to his time, energy, and loyalty, until life showed him how expensive the wrong people can be. So now his circle is smaller, not because he hates people, but because he finally values himself. He stopped chasing attention, fake friendships, and meaningless conversations that only drained his mind. And honestly, solitude taught him things noise never could. It taught him discipline, patience, and emotional control. That's why he no longer fears being alone. He fears losing the peace he fought so hard to build. Because a man who finds comfort in his own company becomes very difficult for the...
It's fairly uncommon to hear this kind of perspective delivered without anger or blame attached to it. Here, the idea is framed differently. A man narrowing his circle isn't about hating people, it's about a man learning to value his own time and energy. The commentary lands on something worth sitting with, that this isn't really about fear of being alone. It's about the fear of losing a sense of calm that took real effort to build in the first place.
These men who are going around saying that they want peace, they do not create peaceful environments for women. So how are you going around saying you want peace? You're just an avoidant.
Yes.
You're an avoidant. You don't want conflict. You don't want to have to navigate conflict. You don't want to have to deal with other people's emotions. So you're going around saying you want peace. Create a peaceful environment, and you'll be able to cultivate peace in that connection.
Turning a man's desire for calm into something labeled as avoidance is exactly the kind of pressure that has pushed many men away in the first place. Nobody wants to spend their life stuck in constant friction and tension. Choosing stability over chaos isn't a character flaw, it's simply a boundary, and more people are starting to recognize the difference.
All the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone, and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace?
This idea gets repeated because it matters. Framing calm as avoidance only pushes people further away. Preferring peace over conflict is a completely reasonable standard to hold, not something that needs defending or apologizing for.
That's exactly what they're saying. For a lot of men, being in a relationship with a woman is constantly reassuring her 24/7. Constantly have to tiptoeing around her expectations and needs. Constantly having to check in to an extreme level where he feels suffocated in the relationship. For a lot of men, they do want good relationships. Yes, they value those things. But you are competing against his peace when he's alone. If being alone is easier than being with you, then yeah, you'd rather...
The commentary nails something important here, that many men are constantly weighing their inner peace against the relationship itself, and increasingly, peace comes out on top. If being alone genuinely feels easier than being in a relationship, that's not cruelty on anyone's part. That's simply honest feedback about what isn't working, and it deserves to be heard rather than dismissed.
A lot of women have absolutely no idea what peace looks like to their man. If your man is sitting somewhere by himself in silence with a little smile on his face and he is doing absolutely nothing, he's not fucking with nobody, he ain't bothering nobody, let that man sit in peace. You do not need to roll up on him and ask him no goofy ass question like, what are you thinking about? Or why are you so happy? Because now he got to make the decision to look at you and actually tell you nothing, or lie to you and be like, you're what I'm thinking about. And the whole time that man was sitting there probably thinking about absolutely nothing, just sitting in peace. So let him sit in peace when you see him sitting in peace. I challenge every woman who sees this video to go and ask your man what peace looks like to them. And when he gives you an answer, honor that. And let him have whatever level of peace he told you.
This same idea resurfaces again in the discussion because it's central to the whole argument. When solitude starts to feel more peaceful than partnership, that's a signal worth paying attention to, not a problem to be argued away.
That these single moms actually think they have a lot of options, but they have the audacity to expect men to have no kids, be well established, and come in and scoop them up. Meanwhile, they got 3 baby daddies, 4 kids, and a low-income job. But not only that, they'll have the audacity to be like, don't talk to any girls, don't hang out with your friends, don't go out to the bars. Meanwhile, if he looks her up on social media, she's going to be talking about her situationship, her dating experiences, this guy, that guy, pretty much outing herself for basically having a high body count. But wait, there's more, is that she'll have 3 different baby daddies, 2 different baby daddies, 3 kids, and none of those baby daddies ever married her or want shit to do with her, and she doesn't see herself as.
This next part of the discussion touches on financial expectations in relationships, particularly around single parenthood and dating standards. Rather than mocking any group of people, it's worth reframing this fairly. The debate here is really about whether financial and lifestyle expectations in dating match up with what someone is bringing into the relationship. That's a legitimate topic, and it's being discussed more openly across dating culture today, without needing to target or belittle anyone personally.
Anybody want to split rent and take trips? You can cheat, I don't care, I just need someone real. Are you the one? Say hi.
The point being made here is about alignment, that presenting yourself with certain expectations, like splitting bills or funding lifestyle experiences, only works when both people are on the same page about what they're offering and expecting in return.
So many single women out here that are struggling to find a man. Well, I'm going to tell you the reason, but you're not going to like the answer. Now, this may not apply to you, so don't take offense. But if you do, maybe you need to reflect why it makes you offended. Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. A lot of women take men for granted. A lot of women want men to take accountability for their actions and what they do. But boy, if you ask a woman to take accountability for her fault in her actions, it's straight to signing divorce papers. But my question is, why are women so resistant to taking accountability? Like, really, what is the reason why you won't take accountability for your actions? I know for me personally, because I was this woman for many, many years, like most of my marriage, I realized it's because I thought I had to be perfect and that society judged me based on my level of perfection. If I dared to take accountability for my faults and actions, then I would be even more demonized. But the reality is, me not taking accountability was making it worse. And I don't think a lot of women understand the fact that we are a lot of the problem. I'm not saying we're the whole problem, but at least on my platform, on this side of things, a lot of.
This segment highlights something often left out of independence conversations. Bills, responsibilities, and everyday costs don't respond to slogans or social media messaging. Real financial partnership requires real financial contribution from both sides. This breakdown resonates with a lot of people because it points to a gap between the message being sent and the reality being lived, and that gap is exactly what's fueling this bigger cultural conversation.
I think it's a flex to be like, I don't cheat women. Okay, bye. Go find your husband then. Like, I'm literally.
Speaking honestly, this is a point a lot of people can get behind. Many men today feel that dating expectations and modern dating culture haven't kept pace with what they're looking for in a partner, and that disconnect is shaping their choices.
We are losing men to peace. We are losing men to ourselves. Men no longer prioritize women. The man at peace is an unviable man. Some women are still thinking that men are in that scenario of chasing after, calling, despairing for the lack of a woman, for her absence, when in reality, today's man, he is increasingly valued. He understood that a woman is not the center of his life, that a woman is not the most important thing in the world, and it is perfectly possible to live without one. Today's high-value man.
This part of the commentary hits close to the mark. Many men today no longer see a romantic partner as the center of their entire world, and that shift changes everything. Once someone learns they can build a fulfilling life independently, old relationship dynamics simply stop having the same pull they once did. It's less about rejecting connection, and more about redefining what they actually need from it.
He seeks to make money. He seeks to do business. He seeks to grow, to develop himself. He removed women from his focus. Today's man, he realized that his peace is worth more. There is no relationship that can buy his peace. Today's man, he is unbuyable. He is non-negotiable. The peace he chose for his life has become non-negotiable. If you are a woman and are waiting for a man to venerate you, a man to idolize you, a man to dote on you, I'm very sorry, but perhaps that won't happen. Because the more time passes, the more we have seen that today's generation of men is not like the generation of old. And it is we women who have been losing high-value men, serious men.
This is a sentiment worth agreeing with. A noticeable number of men have made a deliberate decision to shift their focus away from dating and toward personal growth instead, things like financial stability, physical health, business, and self-improvement. And notably, many of them report finding more genuine fulfillment in that direction than they ever did before.
A lot when a man is at peace and that said woman is no longer a part of his life. When a man reaches a point where he is calm and unbothered and distant from that woman, because that kind of peace does not happen overnight. Believe me, that's a man that went through frustrations, conversations, and effort. And then something in him shifted, and this is what women miss. When a man gets to that place, it is no longer anger, it's detachment. So now the things that used to matter to him does not hit the same. The arguing, the emotions, the tears, even the effort, it does not move him like it used to. Because mentally he has already created distance. And once a man finds peace without you, he never will feel the need to go back to what disrupted him. And this is what women got to understand. When a man feels better without you, it is over. He will never come back no matter what you do. If you are a man that's currently in this state, bravo, my brother. I am so happy that you.
This next point captures something subtle but important. A man's emotional detachment usually isn't rooted in anger at all. It's rooted in a hard-earned sense of calm that took a long time to build. By the point where tears or renewed effort no longer move him, he's often already emotionally checked out, even if he's still physically present. That distinction matters, because it changes how the situation should be understood.
So many women complaining about men doing the bare minimum. What makes these women so exceptional that they leave room to be able to complain about these types of things? Because I would guarantee that the majority of these women saying this and boosting femininity are probably not even doing the bare minimum themselves. They probably gave up having a family or children to work a job that really doesn't even care about them. They probably don't make dinner or cook anything. They probably won't lift a finger to clean the house the way it should be cleaned. So tell me why it's okay to downgrade or downplay a man who does the bare minimum when a lot of the times we as women aren't doing.
The commentary flips the usual complaint into a fair question. Are the people setting higher standards for partners also meeting those same standards themselves? Fair or not, this is the kind of self-reflection that often gets left out of these conversations, and it's worth asking on both sides, not just one.
There's quite literally nothing that aggravates me more than the amount of men that I see on the New York City subway that do not stop to help women at all. I will see women struggling with literally like 60-pound strollers. They have a baby on their arm. I will literally sit there and I'll wait and I'll be like, okay, let's see how long it's going to be. Some man obviously has to see this lady struggle. I'm watching them looking at her. No, they don't. Why am I, a 126-pound woman, helping this woman push a 60-pound stroller up the staircase? Because you guys won't help her. I see girls struggling with suitcases all the time. Women struggling with groceries. Y'all just sitting around. Not all of y'all are in a rush. I don't know where y'all going. Most of y'all
There's a broader irony being pointed out here. The same cultural messaging that once told men to step back is now, in some cases, criticizing them for not stepping forward. Whatever side of this debate you land on, it highlights how mixed and contradictory modern relationship expectations have become for everyone involved. If you'd like early access to future videos, weekly breakdowns, and deeper case studies on human behavior and relationships, check out the members area link in the description below.